Hello everyone and welcome back to another overclocking video on the same HD 7970. I've run it on water now, as you can see. Cold water, as I have to admit, because that's a radiator in my open window. The ambient temperature is around 15 degrees. So yeah, but I also have this second radiator which is sucking in room temperature air, but yeah, it's cold. The card is pretty cold. So we get around down to 20 in idle. And under load it shouldn't be all that much hotter. Yeah, we're maxing out at 30. So yeah. So today we haven't taken a world record. However, this is a very impressive score. Why is this an impressive score? Because basically, this is beating some submissions that were done with liquid nitrogen. Specifically, it's beating Buildzoid's submission made with liquid nitrogen, and also the guy above him. That guy has been using a phase change, and I'm on water, so that's why it's an impressive result, because it's beating both of that. The next guy in the chain is actually Salty and his 5900X. I don't have a 5900X, so that's why he's still above me. Because my card is, yeah, we can take a look at that later. Anyway, this is the same 7970. It's a reference card. I get the fan out, you can see it better. Here, literally just a reference card. It does have the 6th VCore phase though. The actual, it's using the reference PCB, but it wasn't a blower card directly from AMD. The blower cards have only a 5-phase VRM and then empty padding for a 6th one. This one has the 6th one populated. And I was actually approaching the limits of this card pretty closely. But yeah, so let's basically talk about what I'm doing with the card. So we can see we are over 1400 megahertz on the core. I said this thing can do 1400 on core, and it doesn't actually. I think, well, I'm not sure. I think I had the card at not 1405, but 1400 flat, without cold ambient. So the entire cold ambient thing is likely giving me 5 megahertz, because it just really runs into a wall at 1400, like 1410. Just I can't get it to work. Even with all the volt mod and EBC I'm gonna show off. Memory 1700, not all that high. Most people you see are pushing about 1750 when they have their memory timings modded, which I have. If you wanna take a look at it, right here, same memory timings as before. I actually have a timing set that's potentially still a bit better than this. However, I don't know if it's made for the Hynix MFR modules or the Hynix AFR modules, and they are potentially not cross-compatible. And when you flash the wrong timing set, there's a chance that you brick the card's VRAM. Not the BIOS, but you brick the VRAM, so you have to replace every single module. So essentially the card is dead. Which is why I'm probably not gonna do it. I don't know, maybe I can find... Yeah, no, all the AMD cards I have with MFR I care about. So I likely don't have a sacrificial test subject for this. Yeah, anyway. So I haven't just been tweaking the graphics card, I've also been tweaking the CPU. So, CPU is at 5.25 gigahertz, so you can see I upped BCLK by 1, which also means that the memory is at 3840 or something, like 3838, I think. Yeah, makes sense. 101 BCLK, I mean. Same timings as before, just upped BCLK, but and also Uncore is at 5 plus BCLK now, not 4.9. So that's why it also 1.45 volts, which with this cold ambient actually keeps the CPU temperature somewhat okay. With normal ambient, the CPU thermothrottles at this voltage really hard, which is another reason why I need to delete it. Yeah, so that's why my I'm actually getting pretty close to 1000 extra physics score. Not completely 1000, but like 800 points, maybe 850. I'm not entirely sure. The physics score floats around a lot. But yeah, that has definitely helped. But also, this is an absolutely gigantic graphics score on this. Mostly thanks to the core. This card just has an insane core, like over 1400 megahertz, without Sub-Zero. Like, we can take a look at the HW bot ranking later. There's some more I have to say. So, the EVC is hooked up. You can maybe see it here. There. It's a very janky hookup, but here's the EVC. And my control is actually on my Surface Pro 7. And yeah, so the card's been idling for, oh, actually EVC software crashed again. And when it's like laggy like that, you need to restart it. Wonderful. But yeah, I have been using the EVC, and actually all the important things you can see here. So basically, this being a reference PCB 7970, you can't actually go over 1.387 volts in the EVC software. If you set something higher, it just doesn't apply. Which is why I also stacked a volt mod on top of it. Also, just for reference, 100% LOC is the lowest setting, and 0% LOC is the highest setting. So 100% means no V-droop, whereas 0% means maximum V-droop. Just if you're wondering, because it's kind of misleading. So this is the main page for the CHA8228G. And basically the only thing that's important here is that I disabled OCP. I first experimented with just increasing OCP to the maximum, which is 62 amps per phase. I tripped that several times, so I was just like, okay, just disable OCP. And the VRM was getting hot. I think up to 83 degrees with like that fan at full speed and 15 degrees ambient. Yeah, that VRM was really approaching its limit, getting that hot. And why did the camera just reset? I don't know. Yeah, and then I also have, well, that's really hard to see. It's like under the shadow. You can kind of see there's a potentiometer right there. It also has a switch to turn it off. So there's another physical volt mod in there to increase voltage further above 1.38 volts. I might be able to show it with the multimeter. If I just like, you can kind of see it, right? So behind the core, what's the capacitor now? There it is. So behind the core we're seeing 1.44 volts in idle. That goes down to around 1.42 under load. So yeah, that's the voltage. I could actually go higher, like I would be comfortable with going up to like 1.45 volts under load. However, I'm not seeing any more scaling with voltage. Like, yeah. Like I'm just not getting 1410 core. I'm just not. I just need to make it colder. Which is where the phase change comes in. The next step is going phase change. I really just wanted to max this thing out on water. Mostly because I wanted to prove that this thing does indeed do 1400 on water. 1405 actually now. Yeah, I mean, a card with a core like that, of course I'm gonna be running that Sub-Zero. So yeah. And then I guess we can, let me get my trusty chair. And we can take a look at HWBot itself. Why is it so small? Whoop. Please don't be German. Ah, it's loading the German one. No. No. English. Okay. 7970. Radeon HD 7970. And let's take a look at the Firestrike ranking. So, I'm currently in the list here, which is actually on my Matrix card, funnily enough. Not this card. And here is where I am now. So 13168 is current place 5, and 13185 is gonna be the new 5th place. And then there's Salty with like 100 points more, and his card like a lot lower clocked. It probably shows on his GPU score as well. Like his 5800X, yeah, his 5800X is carrying him hard. Yeah, like that's over 10,000 more physics score. Well, I mean, it is part of the benchmark. There is a CPU test in it. This is just why I like superposition more, because this wouldn't have happened. Also, this card might have... Yeah, it's instantly... Is that? Yeah, it's chilled water. And as far as I know, his water chilling... it depends on when he was running it. Like, I talked to him on a somewhat regular basis on Discord, and he was saying something about his water chiller being able to do up to minus 20 degrees now. I am not quite sure if that run was one. No, I actually don't think it was one of them, because he started like covering his cards and like needed eraser around that time, and this one doesn't have it, so this is probably like approaching 0 or barely below 0. But still, this is a lot colder than me, about by like I'm 30 degrees on the load, and faster for the graphics. Also, his card is a lightning. Mine's a reference. And he's running... Okay, maybe it's actually worth running high VCore then, if he saw scaling. Also, he's running better timings than me. I'm running 1375. But I'm running more VMEM. I'm running 1.7 volts. Okay. He also might not have his memory timings modded, because his physics score is like a lot higher. Like a lot higher. I might be getting like... That might be the reason why I'm close, is that maybe I have memory timing. Like I can just ask him, or he will probably see the video and just comment if I'm not asking him. Maybe I'm panicking him so much that he's gonna rerun the card now and pull ahead even further, because I'm giving him all the secrets how to do it. But yeah, so this is my current leaderboard position. I'm 12th. I'm not gonna be 5th. Gonna be 5th now. And then, so yeah, like, so Salty has a much better CPU, and those, like, I might be able to beat that with my phase change. In terms of clocks, maybe that. I'm not beating Lumi. I'm not beating Lumi. Not just is he on LN2. I like, he is really good at what he does. But if my CPU is not holding a server, let's just see, what CPU is he running? 10850K at 5 point. Yeah, I'm not beating that. Yeah, I'm not beating that. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting second place with my current test bench. I think breaking 14K is gonna be pretty difficult. CPU is this person on? 5950X 5.3. Yeah, I'm also not beating that. I might be able to get this. Like, oh, is that the one we just... Oh no, that is the one we just had. Okay. Hey, why does the score suck so much? Yeah, oh, okay, so he probably doesn't have memory timings modded. Because that's 1500 core, and really, yeah, so like, not just is the memory clock so much higher, but like, that's an indication, because when you mod your memory timings, you lose a bit of maximum memory frequency, but you gain performance. And the memory clock that high can be due to just it being really, really cold. But it's probably because he doesn't have memory timings modded. Also, like my combined score is straight up higher. My score is already higher than his combined, which is in line because memory timings mostly hit combined, and then my graphics score is also already higher than his at 1500, but like his physics is probably what's keeping him here. So I might actually beat this. It will be very difficult to break 14k, I imagine, though. So maybe I can take bronze if the card even scales with cold, that is. Like, the card's already doing really, really great. It could be that there's just no more scaling in the card. But yeah, let's finally talk about my current run. So this is on my 7970 matrix. Can see it here. Same water loop setup, but not cold, like normal ambient, not cold ambient. Yeah, you can see it here. And also EVC, because the matrix just doesn't have proper software voltage control. And I do not count GPU tweak as proper. But yeah, so the matrix also had memory timings modded. It runs tighter timings than this 7970 and also achieved higher clocks. So for the memory, the matrix is actually vastly superior to this card, but then the core clock, yeah, the matrix has one of the later cores, and the later cores in general just kind of suck, which you can see here. Like with normal water ambient, like I'm pretty sure I had this card with like normal ambient, not cold, and it did 1400, and that does 1290. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the current submission I have. And I already have it saved, don't I? I already made the... That's the new one that's going up. So, you see, big graphics score, still kind of anemic physics score because 8700K, but really, really big combined score as well. Also, yeah, tessellation is off, of course. Like, you have to turn it off for this. And then the same clocks you can see already. Like, I just took the screenshot just before I started filming this video. So, there we have it. This is probably, like... Yeah, I'm straight off the fastest card on ambient. I'm straight up the fastest on ambient. Like, Salty, when, like, he said chilled. It's probably one of his later submissions, so his chiller isn't as powerful for this sub, I think. But I still think he's, like, colder than me. By quite a lot, like I don't have condensation at all, and he prepped his card for condensation. So, yeah, like, I'm assuming that Salty's card is, like, close to 0 or maybe slightly below it. So, yeah, I mean, I can't just ask him. Probably gonna ping him with the score I got anyway. But yeah, so as long as Salty is like significantly colder than I am, I think I can claim that I have the fastest 7970 on ambient in Firestrike, that is. 3D Mark 11 is somewhat more popular than that for this card, but 3D Mark 11 even heavier leans on your CPU, so my handicap grows even bigger. But yeah, I mean, Firestrike is a lot more popular than Superposition, for example, and now I've, like, for what the setup is, I think this is, like, the most impressive it can actually go. Like, my efficiency is still insane. Like, I'm on water. Like, yeah, cold water, but, like, not chilled. Like, 15 degrees ambient, so my water temp is probably gonna be, like, 20. And my load temp is 30. Like, that's not chilled. 30 degrees low is not chilled. It's cold, but not chilled. So, yeah, I'm very satisfied with myself today. I don't know, it's getting kind of late and I'm growing kind of hungry, but I will definitely well, I mean, I'm gonna be running this on phase change. And I might as well just rerun every other benchmark then, instead of now. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I'm gonna look on HHW bot a bit and see if there's, like, one category where the scores are not that crazy, and I might just rerun it with this setup instead of waiting for phase change. But yeah, so really, really, really good score. I like that. Like so I thought I was gonna get stuck here, but now I'm here. So that's cool. Also, I'm beating Buildzoid's LN2, which is probably due to him not modding memory timings and running on an older driver, but still. Though that clock that's impressive. Like that, yeah, that is straight up the second highest clocked 7970 in the ranking, other than Lumi. So yeah. Anyway, video's over 20 minutes already, and I want to keep it under that usually. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited right now because, like, yeah, the superposition was technically a world record, but like there isn't really a lot of competition there. This one does have competition, and I think I have realistically pushed it as far as physically possible with this cooling setup. So, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.